Hello, everyone. I saw this message that was a tweet that was done by someone. So the person the handle is called Harmless HQ. It's one of those. How do I put it? Like a satirical kind of channel. They're always, writing things. Sometimes the channel will do as if they are as if it's the press is the how do I put it now? As if he's the one in government or he's Tinubu or he's something, and then the way he just puts the messages, they're usually in a very sarcastic, satirical, hope I pronounce that right, messages and all of that. But this was one something that he wrote. He said, this NDC deregistration judgment is coming barely a week after judges receive new houses in Abuja. He then said, to whom much is given, much is expected. And I think it's at this moment, let me just remove my glasses. It's on this premise that I'm going to do this today's tweet that I'm going to do. And to say that, they say perception is everything, no matter what it is, whether it is right, it is wrong, it is what people perceive, and that's what they see. And that's the message that is being passed on to them, or that they're reading from what is being passed on to them. You see, it's not long. This whole thing, we're 6 months away from election, and you have the executive, building houses for appeal court judges, Supreme Court judges, and all of that. It sends a lot of messages, sends a lot of signals. I think there are even some high court judges, I'm not mistaken, that this thing were also, built for them. As much as I've seen a lot of take from people who say that, yeah, but this is done all the time. Usually state government do these buildings and they give them out, they do whatever the basis is. But this is this right now. We saw what happened with the 2023 election and how the judiciary, with all the evidence that was on ground, with everything that should have led to a cancellation of election at the least, nothing was done. Up until the fact that even where evidence was brought of forgery, evidence was brought of, someone holding another country's passport as citizenship. And you see where lawyers will come out to say that, expiration of a passport means that the citizenship has expired. You see a situation whereby someone's drug forfeitment money is brought in, yet the judiciary turned a blind eye and decided to do what it did with the 2023 presidential, election tribunal judgment. Now you're coming into 2026, where we have barely how many months, 6 months or thereabout, to election. And the things that we're seeing right now, where now you're building these big houses. And the process in which the houses was built was a process that was unjust. The lands were taken from an unjust process, almost as if to say to the judges, you guys have partaken in this unjust process. So you're tainted. You cannot even have mouth to say anything. We then can control you the way we want to. That's literally the kind of message that one is getting, from all of this. You find that situation whereby Wike went on to go and take the land of, Julius Berger without following the due process in which there is revocation. Yes, revocation can be done on the basis of public interest for the greater good, right? You can revoke a land and the government can use it, because all lands at the end of the day, do belong to the government. But what you see is a process where it is done in a very high-handed and unjust manner, where Wike himself came out to tell everyone that he had gone on to go and meet, he saw this land. He then invited the MD of the company, Julius Berger. They had dinner. The MD went. The next morning, Julius Berger was served a revocation, notification. And the MD, according to Wike, we were not there, unprovoked. Nobody asked Wike. Nobody knew what happened. Nobody knew. Cho. I must talk. Let them hear say I dey talk. He must show us that he's a land grabber that has arrived, that has all that. And he told us that the MD now called him to say, we had dinner yesterday, you didn't see anything. And then, of course, in his usual say. But anyway, he told us the story. He told the lawyers the story. He told the CJN, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the story. He told the president of the appeal court the story, where in public, oh, on video, on radio, on whatever, where they live, where all of they were all carried. And you saw how that happened. So it's like you've also been roped into the not doing the things the right way. So now you're seeing all of a sudden it's as if certain things are manifesting based on that whole, whatever deal that has been done or whatever it is. That's the perception. That's how people perceive it. That's what it's on ground. And that's why it's very important that the judiciary on this should fight for itself. There are people in that judiciary. Come out and fight for yourselves. You understand? Don't stay idle while everything is being taken away from you. Why the whole essence of what you've worked for? Because no matter how you explain to people and say, "Oh, I'm not one of them. I did not do it." It's a lie. You are all part of them. You're all roped in. There's nothing that you can say or do that removes you from there, other than you ensuring that while you're there right now, do everything you can to make sure that the anomalies, that the travesty that are being done within the judicial sector, it's not allowed to hold. Within that judicial, it's not allowed to hold, because at the end of the day, everything is roped in. And then you begin to wonder, is this something that is going on between, is there sort of like a connivance between the executive and the judiciary to attack opposition and ensure that opposition parties don't stay on? Strong opposition figures are forced not to run, are forced not to be on the ballot paper. Remember that also, we had a few weeks ago, ADC. They were also asking that ADC should be deregistered and all of that. How do you come 6 months to election? You're putting everything in place to deregister the main, opposition parties. But then, this is not the first time we're seeing this in Africa. I think Benin Republic did do some of those things, and we talked about this in this channel. And one thing with Tinubu is that he will copy the most terrible thing that is out there for them to get in. And if I'm not mistaken, Tinubu had actually gone, either him or top government official had gone for that Benin Republic inauguration, where all of this playbook that Tinubu is now playing in Nigeria, or that they are now playing in Nigeria, we all saw that happening to opposition also in Benin Republic. But the thing that for me is that Nigerians, the only people that can stop it are we, the people. We stop these shenanigans. We are citizens, so we are not slaves. Remember that.